Yeah, I met an Uber driver in Boston that picked me up. He was making 100 grand a year. Pretty nuts that Uber drivers are making six figures.
I know. People don't realize it. A lot of people, when they see Uber drivers, they don't realize the potential of that job, because most Uber drivers only make like $3 grand a month, $4 grand a month, maybe up to $5 grand a month, because they work 8-hour days. They work 4 days a week. They'll stop and get food. They'll go do whatever they want. But when I was doing Uber, 14-hour days, 7 days a week, I did not take days off.
Wow.
I did 30 days out of the month, and I did that for 9 months straight. And every single month that I did that, I got a little bit better. I was like, okay, I need to drive in these areas. I can optimize tips like this. I can do this. And then slowly I started to like increase my income, get more and more and more efficient. And I think my final month, I did like $10,300 with Uber alone. That's what it says on the 1099.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I had a private client database that I had built up by giving my card out doing Uber. That gave me another $2,000.
Holy crap.
So I did basically $12,500 with Uber, regular Uber, not black. That was just comfort rides in a Tesla.
Dude, that's impressive. Because you can do that while listening to audiobooks, listening to self-development.
That's what my friend does. My friend Jason, he literally just listens to podcasts while he's driving.
Exactly. So you can get paid to learn, basically.
100%. That's what I did. And honestly, I mean, we got to talk about Domino's. You know how I said I had another friend who worked at Domino's and delivered pizza?
Yeah.
If you're a Domino's delivery driver in Orange County, California, you can make 70 grand a year.
No way.
100%. Delivering pizza.
How?
Hella tips, bro.
70 grand a year? So they must be tipping like 30, 40 bucks each.
Dude, so, because if you're going so I used to work at the Sand Canyon location. I worked at Domino's in the Sand Canyon location in like this heart of Irvine, California. In the beginning of the day, we would get corporate. And so we'd be taking pizza to all the corporations, all the offices that are around the area. They'd all tip like 50 to 100 bucks.
Wow.
Every single time. That goes straight to the driver. Then on top of that, later in the night, you get a bunch of smaller orders. It would get really busy. You get a bunch of tips from everyone. The minimum wage in California is $20, mandatory.
Holy crap. I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you're in a food industry, the minimum wage is $20. So I was getting $20 an hour minimum. I was getting reimbursement for gas mileage for my car. I drove a Tesla, so I was getting paid more than what I was actually spending on gas.
Oh,
anyways.
smart.
So my actual hourly was like $22 an hour. Then I got tips. Tips bring you up to $30 to $50 an hour.
Dude, that's not bad at all.
It's crazy. The general managers are making like 100 grand a year plus.
Wow.
And just the assistant general managers who just get a little bonus, 80, 90 grand a year.
Damn, you got me looking at Domino's employees different now.
They're making bank.
I thought they were all minimum wage. Like,
you know, it's one of my goals is like when I get like a McLaren or when I get like my first supercar, I'm gonna go back to one of the Domino's and because I still know everyone there. Like I'm still homies with everyone, and I'm be like, yo, give me one of those little Domino signs that go on top of the car. I'm just gonna take orders.
That's funny.
The whole night, I'm just gonna take orders. I'm gonna deliver pizza in like a 720S or something like that. Dude, that would be so funny. I would do that.
That's funny. I wonder if there's money in Uber Eats.
No.
No? So Uber makes more?
Uber makes more because of the fact that when you start a genuine conversation with someone, they feel more obligated to tip you.
Oh.
And so that's what I would do. Anytime someone would come into the car, I would start a conversation with them. I use it as a learning opportunity as well, because in Newport Beach, you pick up some really ritzy people coming from the ACI Jet Center, John Wayne, or just coming from the regular terminals. You'll pick up some businessman. I picked up, he was the CEO of some major security company. Like they were competing with Ring. I think it had like a hummingbird for like an icon or something like that. I remember picking him up and just talking to him. And yeah, it was crazy some of the things that I learned and some of the people I met. There's a guy in Newport Beach. He likes to remain low key, so I'm not going to name drop him.
Yeah.
But I picked him up in Uber and we were just talking. We were having a great time. And I mentioned that I like supercars. And he's like, hey, I got an Aston Martin V12 Vantage in my garage. You want to come see it?
That's
cool. We went and started it up. He actually hired me as a private driver full time for the next 2 weeks. I went on to yachts with him. I shadowed him to Flocella at Newport, which is a huge yacht event.
Mm-hmm.
I met Morton Irvine, the owner of the city of Irvine. I met him.
That's crazy.
I shook his hand and I was like, no way. At the time, I was like, I'm living in one of your apartments. And he's like, I bet you're paying a shit ton of rent. And I'm like, I am, sir. I am.
That's cool. Yeah, you won't get that doing Uber Eats.
I know.
What percentage do you think you should tip Uber drivers?
So that's actually what's really funny is despite the fact that before I was doing sales, I made most of my money from Uber. I am very, very big on you don't have to tip anything.
Really?
Yes, because I am just doing my job. I am there to drive. If you feel like you want to give me extra money, by all means, I'm going to take it. But I am not entitled or obligated to a tip from you.
Wow.
Like I knew some people at Domino's who'd be like, this person just ordered like a $50 order of pizza and they only tipped me $1. I'm like, you're lucky you even got $1, bro. You're doing your job. Like you're getting paid a shit ton of money already to just deliver pizza. That's your job. You're not entitled for them to pay you extra or to compensate you extra just because your employer doesn't want to pay you a fair wage.
Mm.
Like I've always been a big proponent of that. Like whenever I go to like Chipotle,
Yeah.
or whenever I go to like a boba place or somewhere to get food, and they like flip the little thing over at me and they want me a tip, I'm like 0. I'm sorry if you're just doing your job, I'm not going to tip you.
Takeout, I'm not a fan of unless they're really nice or something. You know what I mean? Takeout orders, like if you're going and ordering it and picking it up,
Yeah,
I'm not tipping you 20%.
exactly. If you're doing something above and beyond, I will tip. Like for example, on the drive out here, we went to IHOP, me and my friend. And when we went to IHOP, there was this really nice girl in Barstow. And she came by multiple times to see if we needed anything, like way more than she needed to. She had a bunch of other tables. And it was very obvious that she like was going above and beyond at her job. And so I think I tipped her like 30%.
Yeah.
Something like that. So I'll tip if I see people are going above and beyond to like give me exceptional service. But if you're my Uber driver and you drive me like place to place, you don't start a conversation with me. You don't do anything for me. You don't provide any value to my life. I'm not going to tip you.
Yeah.
And I understood that when I was doing Uber. And so every single car ride, it was my goal to provide as much value as I could to every single passenger that I talked to. Whoever it was. If it was a girl coming back from the bar, I would provide them with like the drama. Right? We talk about the drama. It's like, oh man, I had this girl, she puked in my car last night. She was blackout drunk, right? And she's like, oh my gosh, really? Like that's value. That's value right there that I'm providing. I'm giving them a story. I'm giving them entertainment.
Yeah.
If I'm with a businessman who tells me that they work for like Google, like I met some guy who's doing like SEO marketing. I'm like, dude, I've heard that like SEO marketing is being like bought out by all these companies who just dominate the top Google searches and you have to buy from them. Like, are you one of those companies? Dude, they'll pour out everything about their industry to you. You get so much inside knowledge on everything. Like I got, what was the coin? This was like back before I had enough money to really invest into crypto. Someone dropped a coin on me that I bought and it went up like 200% in a day.
Wow.
I forgot what it was. I only had like $50 in it.
Was it
like,
Solana?
No, it wasn't. It was a smaller one. I remember because it was like an obscure one. It was
like a meme coin?
Yeah, no, it was like, I think it was an altcoin. Maybe it was a meme coin. I don't know. This was back before I knew too much about crypto.
Yeah.
But this guy came in and he was like, hey, look, you got to check this out. They're launching this thing next week. Buy it. I promise you, you'll make some money. Obviously, I mean, I only put $50 in because I wasn't really committed to it. But
the fact you took action
like
is impressive, to be honest, because he probably told that to like 100 people.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's something that makes me different is when I'm watching social media and I see Alex Hormozi say, you need to take obsessive amounts of action and you need to do 10 times more than everyone else is doing. I'm like, okay, let's do it. How are we going to do it?
Yeah.
And then I just plan it out and I just try to do it. Like I have very much accredit most of my success right now to online gurus, I guess you could say, or online role models, because I just did what they fucking told me to do. Mark Cuban told me to get a sales job. I got a sales job. Now I'm making 120 grand a year. It was that simple. Gary Vee told me I needed to build a personal brand. Tai Lopez told me a personal brand is going to be the only thing that outlasts AI. I've been building a personal brand. It's working.
Listen to the right people is the key.
Luke Belmar said, make a community. And so I'm like, all right, let's launch a WAP.
Yeah.
Like I'm very big on just taking people who have something to show for it. They have the success, they have the results, and humbling myself before them and saying like, okay, well, if they're doing it and it's working, who am I to tell them no? Who am I to think I'm arrogant enough to not listen to these people when obviously they're doing so much better than me? And like obviously I only listen to what applies to my life. Like when I hear Ryan Pineda talking about like real estate, I'm not really planning on going into real estate right now, so I'm not going to take that advice.
Mhm.
But at the same time, when I hear Alex Ramosi talking about you're 19 failures away from having the life that you want, I'm like, all right, what's going to go wrong next? Give me something that goes wrong. I love it. My car's about to get towed from the parking lot. Great. How many more failures do I got to go through before I finally get to the McLaren 720S?
Mm.
How many? Just tell me how many, and I'll just keep failing until I get there. I'm not afraid of rejection. I'm not afraid of anything because I understand that that's what it takes to get there. And all I do to cultivate my mindset is just listen to people who have more than me, and I take it with a student mentality.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode.